Welcome to Wisdom of the Elders Ministries. This is Madeleine and I am Keira, and we are bringing our unique gifts together to offer you a really powerful and deep connection to your own wisdom roots. We as women are holders of wisdom, and it is really important in these challenging times that we join forces as the wisdom keepers of the world. So come on in. Let's drop in today for some really powerful heart healing medicine and guidance as it comes through uniquely for those who join us live or on the replay. Do let us know you're here. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And stick around to the end because we have a really special invitation for you to join us for an exclusive Scorpio full moon event.
Thank you, Keira. And this is Keira. And we met at Spirit actually brought us together at a conference where neither of us even realized we were from the same town, except Keira spotted my pen, and it was from a local bank, and we realized that we had so many deep connections that we decided to bring our gifts together. And Keira has, from when she was a young girl, been connected to the ancient wisdom of the trees, and they've spoken to her in a deep way, and she's a tree gung healer. It's a healing that came through her in her process of connection to these trees. And that's part of what has brought us together, is the realization that each in our own way we spoke for the wisdom of the ancient ones, of the voices that could not speak for themselves.
Yes, and Madeleine and I also share a gift of writing and poetry, as well as being healers and wisdom keepers. And Madeleine carries a really unique grandmother wisdom that, as she said, she speaks for those ancient grandmothers that held the wisdom for our ancestors. And she has brought her sharp mind, her ability to really capture details into an exploration of the roots of Tarot and the connection between the Kabbalah, the tree of life, and the wisdom of the Tarot. The modern Tarot has been severed from its roots, and Madeleine has brought it back into connection. And it's just so beautiful to me to witness the way the medicine comes through each of us in its unique way. And when we come together and bring our medicine in a container together, then it amplifies both of our gifts into something so much greater than it can be on its own. So, yay, thank you for dropping in, letting us know you're here. Hello, Susan. Hello, Franklin. It's so good to be here with all of you. And if you're here with us live or on the replay, I believe that you were called in today in order to not only to connect to your own inner wisdom, your own connection to this healing ancestral wisdom of the elders, but perhaps you were called in to receive healing to your heart. Perhaps you were called in to receive unique guidance. Perhaps you were called in to offer some wisdom that you carry. So I really like these live videos to be interactive and dynamic. So keep plugging into the comments as you feel inspired, and let us know right now in this moment as you drop here in with us to participate in the Wisdom of the Elders Ministries. What would you like to lay down at the feet of the elders to take care of for you? Because this is what is available when we connect to the wisdom of the tree guardians, those who hold the wisdom here in the physical in a stationary way, rooted into the earth, and also when we connect to our ancestors. We as humans on the earth all have shared ancestors, and we all come from tribal cultures. All of us have tribal culture in our ancestral lineage, no matter where your people come from. And when we're able to connect to those roots of wisdom, it allows us to embody a richer experience of life.
Yeah, I want to clarify a thing about the tarot, which is that when I first learned about tarot in 1962, when I was 20 years old, because I'm 80 now, there were only two tarot decks out. One was the Marseille and the other was the Rider-Waite. And both of them had put Hebrew letters and an Arabic number system and Christian and pagan symbols which came out of a patriarchal culture together. And when I started looking into the meanings behind the Hebrew letters, which are not just letters, it's a numeric and ideographic alphabet. And what I realized was those were 9,000 years old, whereas tarot didn't come about until the medieval times, in the 15th century at the earliest. And so the original letters carried within them archetypes that were a deeper part of the human experience, of the essence of what we all are, because before there's a devil and a priest and all of these other things, there is our bodies. There is the embodiment of all our ancestors within our DNA, within the body and spirit that we have grown out of. And so what I found myself doing was ancient wisdom empowerment readings rather than tarot. And I recognized where those tarot archetypes in some ways could reflect part of the ancient wisdom, but didn't go anywhere near as deep. And so just as Keira has been, in a sense, pulling from the roots of the trees that are 500 years old and more, I've been pulling from the roots of the first alphabet, which is one of the only two still in use alphabets in the world, and which holds within it this wisdom that came out of the ancient goddess cultures of the Middle East and the Fertile Crescent.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful.
So
I love that you connected how we're connecting to the roots. And I like to say that a tree was my first Qigong teacher. Yet I don't pull all of my teachings from the trees. I have had many human teachers who are connected to ancient lineages, both in India of yogic practice, where they really honor those wisdom keepers of the trees. There are ancient Bodhi trees that they sit at the feet of. When you think of the Bodhisattva is someone who sits at the foot of the tree and drops into that deep wisdom connection. And then I have been training in medical Qigong practices connecting to the shamanic traditions of China. And as I was saying, all cultures around the world share these deep wisdom shamanic traditions. And so when we connect the traditions together, when we find the connecting points, this has always been one of my things, to find truth through finding those connecting points. And that's, I believe, why Spirit brought Madeleine and I together to do this deeper work that we are collaborating to bring through to all of you.
And what's really amazing is that in the ancient temples, even once the Jewish religion was beginning, in the beginning parts of the religion, they had a tree which represented the feminine energy within the temples. And it wasn't necessarily a living tree, but it was something symbolic of a tree, which is where the ancient idea of the tree of life comes from. And if you look at when I was in Turkey and traveling around Crete and areas of Turkey, you would see every so often a tree, and it had all these little prayer ties on it, because people still, whether they're in the Islamic countries, still tie their prayers to the trees, and I believe that's
and they
part
do
of the
that
Christmas
here
tree.
in our Native American culture as well.
Yes.
So again, when you go into indigenous culture around the world, you find these meeting points of traditions and philosophies, and this is really that wisdom of the elders that we're drawing on here to offer a non-denominational ministry to assist you in connecting to your deep roots of wisdom, to bring forth your unique magic and medicine, because the world needs your medicine. As much as the world needs our medicine, the world needs your medicine. And so I am really excited for today because we have a really powerful demonstration, heart healing, and guidance from this ancient wisdom pool that we're drawing from. And we have a really amazing, awesome event coming up on Friday to invite you in, where Madeleine and I will be creating sacred space on Zoom so that we can come together in an exclusive circle of healers and visionaries, of the medicine keepers of the world, because that's really what we're here for, is to make a difference, right? I know if you're drawn into this circle today, that you feel called to make a difference in the world, to put your best foot forward, to do your own inner healing so that you can hold space for others in a more powerful way. And it looks different for each and every one of us. That's why it's so powerful for Madeleine and I to come together in this way.
And we're all wisdom keepers, potentially, if we are open, if we learn how to open to the deeper knowing within ourselves. There's a midrash that says when the Torah, which is short for the truth, the biggest truth, was first brought out, each person that heard it heard their own version, because none of us have the truth wholly within ourselves, but all of us together can be the container for the truth of life, of all creation that is so needed at this time. And so we're here to help you bring up from within the well of your own being the truth that is just bubbling there, waiting to emerge and heal and be healed.
Yeah, so Franklin, I see your call for medicine for your condition. If you want to share a little bit more about that, we can definitely hold space for you. And also, if you're needing more assistance and detailed, personalized healing, then be sure to reach out and request a private personal session, because that's where you'll get more specific, detailed healing for your condition. And so before we get started here, I just want to share a little bit about my work, and then I'm going to offer heart healing to Madeleine. And through the way that I see this is not that Madeleine will be a proxy for you out there if you also need heart healing, but that my intention is that through offering Madeleine this heart healing, I will also be offering an overflow that flows through the natural toroidal field that we all share. We all have energy that flows up from the earth through the crown, out and back down, and the earth herself also has a toroidal field. So while I'm offering Madeleine direct healing, I will also be channeling healing into the field for all those who also need heart healing at this time, whether it's your physical heart, your emotional heart, and so
or your spiritual heart.
Your spiritual heart. And so my work is as a connector of lineages. I am a holder of multiple lineages. I began my journey both connecting with the trees and in connection with the ancient Vedic practices of yoga, yogic tantra practices, and tantra means the weaving, so connecting to the tapestry of consciousness in order to connect to that magician, as it were. That's, for some reason, that's the word that wants to come through right now. And then I've been, as I mentioned earlier, studying Chinese medicine through the lens of medical Qigong. And so when I look through the lenses of these combined lineages that I'm holding, the heart is the center of relationships. It's the portal through which we connect to the world. And in Chinese medicine, the heart-mind are one. The Chinese wisdom doesn't think of the mind as here and the heart here. And so there's a little bit less of this effort to connect the heart and the mind, because they really see it that way. This is our connection to spirit. This is where we channel ideas, and there's a lot of connection to the universal consciousness that happens here. But where we actually have our wisdom held is in the heart, where we actually are connecting to the world and communicating in that way is through the heart. And the heart in Chinese medicine is the holder of the fire element. And so when we do heart healing, we want to be gentle, because the heart is such a tender place. And the heart is the governor of the entire system. So whenever we do heart healing, we're also sending energy to wherever else in the system is needing that. Now, we can have over fire in the heart, or the fire can be a little bit too damped down. So sometimes for heart healing, we need to work with the wood element. The wood feeds the fire, right? And so sometimes our fire is damped down because we're holding frustration or anger or resentment towards someone, and it's not allowing that wood to be open to feeding the fire. Sometimes we have over fire, and then we need to channel the fire towards the earth element to ground it out and really give that to the mother. And then when we think of the fire element, we're also connecting to the digestion, right? And this is more when we're talking about Vedic medicine. The fire element is the Agni, and the Agni is the digestive fire. And so sometimes I find when I bring these healing modalities together like I do, sometimes we need to send that excess fire from the heart into the digestive system. This goes along with Chinese medicine as well. It all makes sense, and there's too much details to tell it all.
Yeah.
But there's a sense of sometimes the digestive system, which is the physical digestive system, and it's also your ability to digest thoughts and ideas and emotions that's coming in. And so as we prepare for this brief healing demonstration, I'm going to ask you, Madeleine, to express what pieces of what I just shared resonate for you in terms of your personal state of heart at the moment.
Well, my personal state of heart is I just got a pacemaker in because the doctor said that my heart is healthy and strong and big, but my electrical wiring was shot. It was not getting the electricity that it needed to keep beating. And on Thursday, he was concerned that my heart might just suddenly blink out like a light bulb.
Or a candle.
Or a
I wanted
candle.
to think, I thought I wanted to keep the fire.
Yeah, maybe it would just blink out the way a candle can suddenly run out of fuel. And it's the only sign that I've had of aging, really. And so it took 3 years for anybody to pay attention to the fact that when I was going up hills and feeling breathless, that maybe something wasn't right, because they would just say, oh, well, you're, and that time, you're 77, and of course, you need more exercise, or you're 78, 79. It wasn't till just a week ago that, well, it was actually a month ago that I said to a doctor, I have plenty of exercise. I've been walking 3.5 to 5 miles a day. As long as I'm on flat ground, I'm fine, but as soon as I go up a hill, I find myself having trouble breathing, and I never used to. And so she said, oh, we'll test your lungs, we'll test your heart, and I failed the stress test. And I kind of made me wonder about my heart, and made me wonder about why my electrical wiring wouldn't keep feeding it the way it had been done and had done all my life. And yet, that's one of those things. You never know. And I feel like my heart has always been very open, and I've always had tremendous love and passion for life and for people and for all living beings. And that's part of what I came here to do, was to love fully and deeply. And I always have. And so I thought, well, maybe it just needs better wiring to keep going that way. And so he put a wire into the top of my heart and a wire into the bottom. Now it should last, he said, 8 to 15 years, or maybe even 20 years. And I figure that would take me to 100, which would be just nice.
Perfect.
And so, I look forward to this heart healing because I see that the knowledge, the wisdom is within our hearts, and because our ability to love is the home of our ability to be wise. Because fear is what closes us down.
Yeah.
And love is what expands us into the universe, into spirit, into everything else that lives. And in the mornings when I do my prayers with the water, I sing to all beings, to the healing of the earth, because when I ask that when I drink the water that it may go through me and through me expand, be carried forth by my voice, by my energy. Because when we speak our energy, when we move our energy from within our body out into the world, into beingness, it offers healing wherever we go, wherever it is, wherever it reaches. And so Keira doing this on me has very much the same effect as when I drink the water for healing the universal. Because she's through me, she's healing anyone there who needs a heart healing of any kind, or even a wiring healing of any kind.
Okay, well, let's honor the time and get going with this. That was quite extensive sharing, and I appreciate it. And I also am recognizing the time, so if we're going to do this, let's do it. I'm going to ask you to just shift a little bit here, and I think that'll be good. So beautiful. I love everything that you shared, Madeleine, and I love that you're offering this healing to all of the collective in the way you are, and I really want to invite you to just fully receive for you right now in this moment. And all of you out there, I'm going to guide us into a meditation. As I'm doing the direct healing for Madeleine, I'm going to guide us into a meditation, and then recognize that if you were called in to participate in this healing, there's something for you, just as Madeleine was expressing. So imagine a smile like warm oil is melting down over the crown of your head, flowing down the front, the back, the sides, and I'm just gently combing Madeleine's energy field here to clear out any entanglements from the past, any energy from others that she may be carrying, so that we can get right to the heart of the matter. And now, as you allow this warm oil of a smile to flow down over the front, back, and sides of your body into the earth, bring your awareness down into the center of your heart. Feel that you are being held in loving kindness, and allow yourself to enter your heart as if your heart were a home. Walking into your heart space Notice the fire of your heart. Is your heart fire raging out of control? Is it barely glowing like an ember that needs to be coaxed to life? Or is there just a nice, warm, crackling glow coming from the fire at the center of your heart? Just take a moment to notice the quality of your heart space right now. Holding that heart in loving kindness and compassion. And if you notice excess fire, send it down into your digestive system to assist with the processing of food, the processing of emotions, the processing of ideas. Gazing through the lens of your heart, and if you notice that your heart needs some coaxing to life, offer it gently, remembering if you blow hard, you will blow the fire out. But when you blow softly and gently, you can coax it to life. And if there's a sense of any imbalance, just inviting in an invitation just to offer yourself to rest back and allow that fire to balance itself. Sometimes we add wood too quickly to the fire and smother it. Sometimes, like I said, we might blow too hard and put it out. Sometimes we build it up and don't allow it time to process. So just inviting in the energy of balancing. Here for Madeleine having this recent surgery, I'm just visualizing that inner healer who knows exactly what to do, the energy that Madeleine already carries, to just be supported in the natural process. The heart is also where our wings arise. So inviting a connection now to the back of the heart. Moving away from the sense of the heart that beats and into the space at the back of the heart chakra. Breathe into the back of your heart. Breathing into this hand at the back of your heart. And offering energy to those wings, the wings at the back of your heart that will carry you. Your heart wings can enfold you in loving, healing energy. Your heart wings can offer healing to another without taking of your own personal energy. Your heart wings can carry you into your greatest vision. And your heart is the generator of the toroidal energy field. So now inviting that earth energy up from the earth, through the heart, out through the crown of the head, expanding into those beautiful energy wings. Deep, slow, full breath into the sides of the heart now, expanding the space under the arms. And inviting in exactly what is needed for your healing in this moment. Sealing it in, wrapping you in a bubble of light and protection that the healing will continue. And now bring your energy in, reversing that toroidal energy field flow down through the crown, down through the heart to connect with the earth. And let's just take a moment here in your own personal sovereignty to feel the connection of your heart with the heart of the Mother Earth, dropping in to that slow heartbeat of the earth, recognizing that our lifespan, that 100 years that Madeleine spoke of, is but a space between heartbeats for the earth. So connecting how you can be held in that slow heartbeat, just like when there's a baby in the womb of a mother and their heartbeat is going so much more quickly than our heartbeat as the mother. Connect your heartbeat, your natural rhythm, to that deep, slow wisdom of the earth. And just allow yourself to receive whatever that is for you, imagining that you can rest in the womb of the mother and receive that slow, steady beat as a grounding, balancing force, allowing you to claim even more your unique rhythm in this moment. And then slowly coming back into the space. I wanted to go on and go into the liver and the gallbladder and the spleen and the stomach and the lungs, and I also wanted to keep the context of a short demo today. So how did that feel to you,
It
Madeleine?
felt really good. I felt like I really could go with the vision, with the envisioning, and I could really feel the energy coming through me and into me and through me and out to whomever is in need.
Beautiful.
And so, yeah, and it's interesting because the Native American name I was given was Dances with Fire. And I could feel that.
So beautiful. Yeah, that is so beautiful. I thank you for sharing how that connected you more deeply to your medicine that you carry, because that's really what has been coming through so strongly as the medicine that is coming through me is to assist you with connecting more deeply. Not that you're not already connected to your medicine, but that it may come to the surface with more clarity and bring the insight that help you bring it more strongly into the world as it's needed. So wow,
to know more
you.
the use of it,
rather
than, you know, the place where it can, the map that it may travel to, in effect.
Mm-hmm.
And
so beautiful.
My husband, when we were out today, he said, we both were laughing because there were spider webs between the mirrors of the car and the car. Mm-hmm. And I said, these are so beautiful. Look at these. We're so lucky. There's spider webs from my mirror to the car. And he goes, yes, there's one from mine. And he said, I always think of those as nature's lace.
Aww.
And I thought, and he said, I think of us as being wrapped in nature's lace.
Oh, that
and
is
I
so
thought it was
beautiful.
Such an amazing image.
I love that. I love that.
And you have spider medicine. She has a little spider there that she has on, and that I'd given her to wear for this because I feel like bringing nature's lace and the medicine of Spider Woman, who is the weaver of words and the alphabet and all of these things in Native American. Some of the
that
Native
is
American
so beautiful
teachers
and
belonged here.
Mm-hmm. And just as I was gifted medicine from the trees, I have also been gifted spider medicine. This is something that Madeleine and I also share. So I feel like Spider Woman, which is not like Spider-Man putting on a sleek suit and jumping through the trees, but actually is
the
weaver of the tapestry of the universe, which, as I mentioned, is what the word Tantra means. So the practice of Tantra has been, is mostly known in the West as a sexual practice, but really it's a practice of connecting how our physical connects with the spiritual. And that's why so much of it is sexual practice as spiritual practice, but it's so much more than that. And when Spider gave me medicine, I was shown that we can actually play the tapestry of the universe like a harp. And this is something that's just a little bit of a spoiler alert, that we may be doing some really inspired, intuitive sound healing when Madeleine and I bring the exclusive full moon event to all of you that's coming up. We're going to share more about that really soon, but I want to make sure that Madeleine has enough time to draw just one card for all of you before we wrap it up and share that link with you to the full moon event.
And I also want to just say what's another remarkable thing that brought Keira and I together is I've always, since I was a little girl, pictured my thoughts and my intuitions as being like connecting stars in a web. And when I do my visualization of healing, I picture a web, a net that surrounds the whole earth and all beings within it for healing. And so it's, and in the story I wrote for about 2 Native American children, it was about this spider singing, and that was the part of the medicine that I was given when I was doing a vision
as you
quest.
can
So we're
see,
so
we
close.
have a lot to share. So we're gonna do more of these videos and practice tightening them up into little sound bites. But I think we just have so much to share, both of us.
Yeah,
we're gonna practice that more. Thank you so much to everyone who is here with us. And if you're with us live or on the replay, send your energy this way as Madeleine pulls a card for us.
Actually, what I want to do is, just as I was the model for Keira, I want Keira to pull the card for everyone, because I want her to speak for you that way.
Do I have it upside down? Is it right?
That's okay, because if a card turns out upside down, it can mean that it is something that is not functioning in the wholeness of energy that it needs to function in. And once things in our unconscious become conscious, then they become uprighted, because they become part of our conscious thought rather than part of our unconscious awareness. And so this is from my book, Our Ancient Mother's Alphabet, a New Kabbalistic Approach to the Hebrew Aleph-Bet and the Tarot. And I'm going to share this with you. It is the 8 of Wands. On the Tree of Life, that's the HUD of Wands. And its essence has to do with learning to trust our divine guidance.
Can you hold it up?
That it's time to act on and exemplify our newfound awareness. Take a risk, change direction. Now we need to review our creation and decide if it's working or not. The wisest choice may sometimes be to tear up our lovely page for the good of the whole. And when it's reversed, it talks about fear stopping us from fulfilling our potential, and the need for a greater understanding of the dynamics of fear. It's the time to ask, what is the worst that can happen if we express our deeper truth? And then to look at that and then repeat it. What is the worst that can happen if this happens? And what is the worst that can happen if this happens? Because then you get to the core fear. And once you know the core fear that is blocking you from making a clear choice of, maybe it's something that you just, I love that sentence. I want to keep that sentence in a piece of writing that you've done. But you realize, I have to get rid of it because it doesn't work as part of the whole. And then when you get rid of it or change it, suddenly the flowering can come forth. And my blessing for everyone at this time, at this moment in time, is to face the fear, question it, see what its roots are, and then move through it so that your full blossoming may come forth in order to manifest the truth and the reason you need to be here at this time.
Beautiful. I love that. And what a perfect lead-in to invite you all to our upcoming full moon event. We are creating an exclusive ritual space for all of you on Friday, May 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time to join Madeleine and I in a private Zoom room ritual space so that you can receive personalized healing and wisdom and actively participate in the ritual space. And this is the Scorpio full moon. This is going to be the advent of a longer series that Madeleine and I are putting together of a 13 lunar cycle priestess activation. This first one is going to be free so that you can really sample our work and how it blends, and really drop into your own inner wisdom and guidance about what is going to be most supportive for you. So, what do you want to share about our full moon event on Friday before we wrap it up? I'm going to drop the link. I created a Zoom registration link so that you can sign up and read a little bit more about what was coming through for us around this event, and then sign up and join us live. And I really encourage coming live. If you want to join and you're not available it'll be 10 a.m. Pacific on Friday.
Which is when the full moon actually happens. And that's why we chose that time. If it would be happening at 4 in the morning, it might be another problem. But
so I just dropped the registration link into the chat here. And if you don't see it, just let us know in the comments, reach out, and we will make sure you get that invite. And I think we just wanted to wrap up by talking a little bit about what to expect at that event. So what did you have anything you wanted to share about that?
Well, before we put this out, we started sharing back and forth about the meaning of the Scorpio full moon, about the meaning of Scorpio itself. And we will, of course, be sharing more deeply about that on the event. But basically, Scorpio, they say Scorpio is ruled by Mars, but it's really more ruled by Pluto, because it is that place of instant transformation. If the scorpion sting can kill. And what it's about is the moving from one perceptual paradigm into another. And it can be instantaneous, so you're not... There's many times when we are wanting to evolve slowly and grow slowly. There are other times when a jump has to happen from one place into our future, into what we want to bring into blooming.
Yes, so it's like a quantum leap, I'm feeling.
Yes.
Which it doesn't actually say. A lot of what Madeleine said you'll see in the description, but as she was speaking, I was like, this is actually an opportunity to take a quantum leap in your transformation, because the other symbol of Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes. And I think it's so perfect that I felt called to talk about Tantra, because Scorpio has a really strong connection to the way we physically engage with life, with our emotions, with our sexuality, with our connection to our own mortality. All of these are
Passion.
Things that come up around Scorpio. And Madeleine also was under a Scorpio moon, so I think that's kind of cosmic that our first one will be on Madeleine's moon, and I think the second one will be on my moon, because I was born with a Sagittarius moon.
Yes, it will. So you get one of each.
And so let us know what your moon sign is. What was the moon sign you were born under? Often we celebrate a very powerful way to celebrate our birth is to celebrate our moon when it happens in the month of our birth, instead of just celebrating the date of our birth, because then we're celebrating the way that the planets were aligning around our birth. So I really invite connecting. Our moon sign is the way that we emotionally express and connect to the earth, to others, our style of relating, our style of emoting, the way that we feel life. And so it's really powerful to use the moon to connect back to that aspect of yourself as well.
The other thing with the Scorpio full moon is, the other aspect of Scorpio is the phoenix that rises from the fire. And so just as the heart is the place of the fire, the phoenix is that which comes flying up from it.
And you just made me think of another thing about Scorpio, because Scorpio is a water sign, and yet it is ruled by very fiery planets, both Mars and Pluto, because before Pluto was discovered, Mars was the ruler of Scorpio. So now both are connected, and so there's this sense of fire underwater, which creates steam, and transmutation, transformation is really much, it's always available, but it's really available with Scorpio energy.
And the reason I was given this Dances with Fire name is because my Hebrew name was Miriam, which relates to the two elements of water, which is bitter water of salt water, as the water that all life forms within, and the sweet water that nurtures life, because it starts with the letter Mem, which means is the letter that is the ideograph for water, and ends with the letter Mem. And so to be water in that way, and is because water dances with fire. And so the Scorpio moon is the fire that causes the water to dance.
I love that.
And so,
all right, we're going to save all the other wisdom that we have for you. We're going to save for next time, because we've almost doubled our intention of time here today. And so we will leave you with that. And I really encourage you to jump in. We are limiting the space to 22 individuals because we want to have the opportunity for everyone to be heard and seen and feel that safety of the container. And so highly encouraged to grab that link from the comments. Oh, we have a Cancer moon who says she's coming. Yay,
Good.
Susan.
Yay.
Yes, that is beautiful. Cancer moon is so beautiful.
It's trine to the Scorpio moon.
It is, and it's the ruler of Cancer is the moon. So that's a really powerful placement to have your moon, and so deeply connected to that water element. So I love it. I'm super excited to see who will be calling in to take those seats in this really special transmission that Madeleine and I are putting together for you. And be sure to grab one, because this is likely to be the only time that we do it for free, and we really want to just make this offering from our hearts
to yours. And bring, if you have a friend or loved one that you feel would benefit from this, and that you would like to bring into this special circle, this is the time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. So wonderful. Thank you, each and every one who has joined us here live or on the replay. You are valued, you are needed fully.
You are loved.
You are loved, and just keep shining your light, keep connecting to your heart, and I look forward to sharing more. And if you're feeling a need for personal healing or a personal reading, reach out to us and we will get you set up with that. And I look forward to next time. Love you all. See you
Friday.
Friday, if not before. Bye for now.
Bye for now.